All right, we have the Rick Schantz letter. 4 hours ago, it came out on Facebook from the Phoenix Rising Football Club Facebook page, and this letter is the indication: will Rick Schantz be allowed to play anymore? Because it's not the ownership or the general manager of the Rising making the decision. It's how the comments come off from the woke people of the world on Facebook and Twitter. If they say "good job" or "we want your head," that's what we're waiting on. So that the whole Rising staff just staring at the comments. Okay, I think we can keep them. I don't know. And we'll look at those in a second. But let's read the apology letter, which should have never been an apology. And it goes by Rick Schantz. During our game on Wednesday, September 30th with San Diego Loyal, I was involved in a chaotic conversation with the referee who had just issued a red card against openly gay Loyal player Colin Martin and Landon Donovan. He failed to mention that. Colin accused Phoenix Rising player Junior Flemings of using an anti-gay slur directed at him. At the time, I didn't understand the accusation fully. Of course he didn't, because he's dealing with the referee that was scared to death, and Landon Donovan screaming at him, and then he had another player from the opposing team yelling at Rick, and Rick is just dealing with all this stuff, and he's confused. He didn't even know what he's talking about. He's like, he goes, I thought it was about race. What racism was there? It's not racism. It's homophobia. And he's like, what is going on? It was confusing, very confusing. If you would be willing to really put yourself in Rick's shoes and understand what was going on. Have you ever been in a situation where the conversation was going 100 miles per hour and there's a lot of confusion, and you're trying to manage a bunch of things, and you're processing a lot of stuff in your brain, and you're trying to figure things out, and you're like, what the freak's going on? Yeah, if you're willing to do that, but the woke left doesn't want to do that. They want to make a scene and make you bow down. If you don't bow down, we're going to punish you. And I read on. While this was not my intent or personal belief, upon reflection, I fully understand my comments were wrong. No, they weren't. I understand the justifiable anger, and I apologize for the pain I've caused. I should have immediately acknowledged and denounced anti-gay comments. Furthermore, my actions significantly damaged the public perception of the Phoenix Rising. No, what the Phoenix Rising FC is doing right now is damaging them, and I'll explain that in a second. A club which has publicly and proudly supported the LGBTQ causes and charities since its inception. Yes, they've always been a great organization until now, because they're bound down to the mob. I am disappointed in myself and my commitment to becoming a better human on these issues in the future. To that point, I've committed to taking specific steps that will help me recognize and change my conscious and my unconscious biases, and to bring better understanding of the LGBTQ issues. He forgot the plus. Is he in trouble? Issues to myself, the club, our players, and the sport. And I have reached out personally to Colin to apologize for my reaction, and he was graciously accepted that apology. I'm working with the LGBTQ community leaders to develop a personal growth plan that will include one-on-one counseling session with the LGBTQ sports and community experts. And I have been actively supported the new joint education program announced between Phoenix Rising and San Diego Loyal. While we wait for the results of the league's investigations into the juniors' actions, I will begin the hard work of evolving and growing. There is no room in our sport for homophobia and racism, and I am committed to being part of the solution as an ally. And he always was. He's not for for anyone being attacked. Never has. He was confused, and the thing is, how we handle these things, it should not end the game. Investigate, sure. Change people to improve themselves, yeah, absolutely. But it doesn't matter. Let's go on to the jury. The jury and the judge is the comments. This is how they roll. So let's open these comments up and read on. Oh, that's for me. Let's see. Let's move on. So I commented. I don't count because I'm not a mob person. So we're looking for things that say, you should be fired, kind of stuff. But I think he worded it in such a way that, it'll be all right. Proud of you, coach. Great statement. So, one mob warrior, +1. You're okay. Keep them. Why do you have to apologize? I agree, but that's not an attack on the mob. The only thing that matters is the angry left. If they say fire, we still love and stand with you, coach. Rising together. Okay. He's rising together. Enough said. He apologized to Colin Martin, the only person with the dog in this fight. Colin forgave him. End of story. Okay, so there's another mobster. Seriously, F, play soccer. Why do it? Okay, we don't want to read all these. And a lot of them are like, as long as everyone plays with themselves. Okay. Luckily, I'm not on Twitter. It might be much worse. So this is, he's safe. So from the responses, he's safe. No one's came out and said fire. And that's what you're looking for, is who's coming out to say fired. Here is the problem with me on this whole thing. When's it going to stop? Because what Landon Donovan and the San Diego Loyal did was wrong. Okay? They accused someone with information that no one has. They're still investigating. We still don't know what comes of all of this. And that's not how you govern a society. You can't go that way. It cannot be, I heard from a friend of a friend that he said that, fire him. I can't. I have to have nope, got to fire him or you're going to be fired. And that's where we're governing. I know the lefties out there. I lean left, believe it or not. But one thing about this mob leftist crazy group, the future of our country, they eat lefties too. They don't care who it is. They just want a reason to attack. Doesn't matter if they're Democrats. They will destroy you. And every liberal, leaning liberal, a little bit, or Democrat leaning right a little bit. Yeah, everybody should be against this. Everyone. They are bullies. So if you are a bully, and I have bullies attacking me, calling me the worst things in the world because I see something different, because you're not willing to see, you want to crucify people without proof. I cannot go that way ever. So I have a problem with the Phoenix Rising organization, with the general manager, the ownership, forcing Rick to bow down because he would have been fired. And right now it seems like his apology letter worked. He hit all the things to make the left feel good about themselves. He had to bow down. But when are we going to fight against these bullies? And if we know anything about bullies, you have to punch them in the face. Okay? Not literally. That's what they would want to do. You have to fight back. But any bully in school, the big bully out there, all you had to do is punch them in the face, and they would back up, and they wouldn't bother you anymore. Where are we? So where are we with this? So the Rising is just another organization that are scared, and don't blame them, because no one's standing up to them. Okay, the very few that are standing up win these fights, but they're all scared of what? Being sued and all that. We have to fight. We cannot govern society. We can't govern ourselves. We can't be part of a community if we're not going to go based on facts and information. We're just going based on, he said that, so therefore it's over. So in today's world, we're surrounded by the most virtuous human beings that ever was, right? No, they're the bullies. And the solution is we must challenge the crazy. That's what we need to do. And until then, they're going to control everything, and we're going to have no say. And when I say us, the people that they have sanity. Landon Donovan did this. He planned it. It was his last opportunity of the season to become a justice warrior. It was the last game. He tried it the previous game, like I mentioned. They tied the LA Galaxy 2, and they said, we don't even want the point. Take it away. We don't want it. And it wasn't enough traction for him. He wanted an opportunity to pull out, and this was his last chance. And he did. Good job, Landon. You did it. You're wrong. Everyone needs to stand up for that is wrong. Now, stop all the lefties, the crazy lefties, leftist mobs. You have to stop attacking people online and attacking people that think a little bit differently than you. I get attack. What is wrong? Yes, but you got to have proof. Not you think you have the proof. You have to have it. That game should have been finished. They should be trying to get in the playoffs, and enough said right there. That's what should have happened. Because Landon Donovan took control of that situation, and I already said this in my last podcast, and I'll say it again. He is selfish, and he robbed a lot of kids on that team of opportunity. Landon Donovan's already played in a World Cup. He's already played for the national team, played in the Premier League. He played in the MLS. He's done it all, so he doesn't care. A lot of the players on his team have an opportunity to advance. Say they went into the playoffs, which they should have, and won a championship. What if that happened? A lot of those kids he's coaching would have a chance to move on. And if one of my players from Phoenix College, I've college guys that went through my program into the USL. If any of my guys were over there and he was denying them opportunity, I would light him up. I would light him up. That's just ridiculous. And if you're one of those players on the Loyal and you feel like you weren't able to speak up, I'd sue. Sue Landon Donovan, sue the Loyal for denying you an opportunity for Landon Donovan's virtuous lifestyle he's living, because that's BS. That should anger you. Should totally anger you. Soccer saves lives. It saves lives. It totally saves lives, especially the ones in poverty. It saves lives because they get opportunity to make money and better themselves, and he took that away from them. That should piss you off. It should totally. Can you see it that way? Is it possible that is something to think about? You could still fought. You could have still fought for your player. You could still find a better way. You could have met with the USL and say, hey, we need to make changes. We need to do these things, or else kind of thing. Don't put it on the referees or the opposition. Make real change. You can do that. But you wanted to be on ESPN. You wanted to talk to the world. You wanted to be world news. Well, good job. You did it. You did it. And you screwed a lot of players in that locker room. If any of you guys were denied the ability to speak because the mob was controlling that team, led by Landon Donovan, sue them. Big time. Change the game. We'll change the game that way. You can do both. Don't deny those players those opportunities. That was ridiculous. I'd be ticked. Should be ticked. It all can be accomplished, but robbing them from playoff, I just can't. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, good luck, Rick Schantz. Hopefully they'll keep you in your job. I'm out. Peace.